Welcome to Today in Prophecy. I'm Tom Hughes. Daily news in 15 minutes or less. Listen, there's a lot going on with Israel. Certainly you've heard by now, not just pagers have blown up, but today what else do we know? Well, it's also walkie-talkies, solar panels, lots to talk about there, but we have a lot of other things we're going to get into first. By the way, I'm going to be in New Richmond, Wisconsin, with Don Perkins, Prophecy Conference, Calvary Chapel, Solid Rock. I hope that you could join me. It's coming up this weekend, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can check out our website, hopeforourtimes.com, to get information. Again, if you're in the area, I would love to meet you. All right, let's get going with the news. U.S. moves soldiers to Alaska Island amid Russian military activity increase in the area. Folks, as we look at this and the things that are developing there, it's just a reminder that we live in a time where Jesus spoke of in the last days we would have wars and rumors of wars. In fact, he even said there will always be these things, but in the last days, the coming tribulation will increase exponentially. But what are we seeing? We are definitely seeing an increase in wars and rumors of wars here. Again, we don't have to look at just Ukraine and Russia or what's going on with Iran, all of the terrorist activity, Israel, China, Taiwan, on down the list. But you look at something like this, America and Russia in Alaska, we're just reminded, wars and rumors of wars, Jesus said it would happen. It'll increase significantly and exponentially during the tribulation period. But we also remember the words of Jesus where he said, when you see these things begin to take place, look up and lift up your head because your redemption draws near. And folks, we're seeing the beginning of these things at a rate that is absolutely remarkable. We live in amazing days, but boy, do we have a lot more news to cover. Again, we'll get to Israel in a few more minutes, but this is out of Israel National News, although it's about Europe's borders. Europe's open border utopia is over. The terrorist threat in Europe is once again shaking Europe, and it takes a lot of censorship to hide the facts. And then this article goes on to talk about all of the different facts regarding the terror attacks, the terrorism, the things going on over there in Europe. In fact, the French have had it. We see what's going on in the UK. They're trying to censor everything, shut everybody down in the UK that talks against the open borders that they have there in Europe and the open borders here in America. Man, you speak out against these things and you don't find yourself in the arms of anybody that's friendly from the tech giants. They just seem to want to shut you down. Not only that, but even governments are trying to shut down the tech industry in some of these places as you look at them, including the UK. And by the way, if you noticed in Brazil, so X was censored in Brazil, Elon Musk's company couldn't be in Brazil anymore. Well, guess what? They're back up in Brazil. So that's rather interesting, isn't it? Listen, I think people are just fed up and there's a rise. People are starting to rebel against these insane policies of these world governments, the World Economic Forum, the UN, insane stuff going on here in the U.S., even when it comes to Kamala Harris. Now the reports are coming out as more and more people are learning about her. Listen, here in California, we've known about how bad of a choice she is from the beginning, but as more and more people across the country are starting to learn about her, guess what? Her numbers are tanking because people are finding out the truth. These governments are trying to hide the truth. They're trying to blow open our borders, which they have done. They're doing all these evil things, but people are rising up. People are fed up. And you look at it, it's just absolutely awful to see all this stuff. But as you look at this, in Europe, they have these open borders. You got these Islamic terrorists coming in. They're starting to realize, hey, we have a problem. Speaking of having a problem, don't you think Israel's had this problem with Islamic terrorists all along? Indeed. So we had the explosions, right, from the pagers just the other day. But now what do we have? 20 more are dead. 450 injured as new round of explosions rock Lebanon, health officials say. And as we look at this, check this out. Also, Panic, get this, there's more to it than just the walkie-talkies. Look at that. Panic as 2 solar systems explode amidst pager and walkie-talkie blasts in Beirut, targeting Hezbollah. So, this really is a you can't make this up kind of thing. When you start realizing it was pagers, now it's walkie-talkies and even solar panels. So Israel has pushed these terrorists into a place of realizing, okay, what do I have an iPad here. What if this thing blows up? What if I'm watching my TV? What if I sit in my car? I mean, every single thing, this has put them on notice. Every single thing they're doing now, they got to think, if I start my car, put my key in the car, is it going to explode? You're not going to be able to get out of your head. What if I turn on my razor? Is it going to explode? All these different factors. I guarantee you, the fear factor, the psychological warfare is just off the charts right now. Israel has done a remarkable job. I'm sure there's many people out there saying how awful this is. No, these are wicked people. Europe is starting to wake up to it. You can't just blow open your borders to Islamic terrorists. Here in the United States, we've done this sort of thing, blown open the border to just about anybody that would even think of coming here, saying, hey, come on in here, especially if you can cause trouble. But it does appear people are starting to wake up to it. Okay, now with what's going on with Israel, what will this do? I did an update just earlier today, a few hours ago. You can check it out. We had it on all the platforms, not just on the website or the app. It's on all the platforms with David Tal, where we were able to go back and forth. I was able to ask some questions. You guys were able to ask some questions too. Hey, check it out. More details there, but we're going to keep in touch with David to keep us updated on things that are coming, even while I'm traveling to Wisconsin. We're still looking at any updates that are necessary to do because, boy, we live in an interesting time, an interesting world, and I think what Israel has done, to me, I kind of like it. It's really put all these terrorists on notice. By the way, right now I'm planning to go to Israel. In less than 2 weeks, I'll be there. I appreciate your prayers for that. Just going there to meet with some people. Looking forward to a great trip. People are saying, why would you go there right now? I say, why would I not go there right now? God is in control. God is the sovereign one. I guarantee you when I land in Tel Aviv, I'm going to experience the peace of the Lord. I get to go visit Jerusalem. I'm going to be staying there for several days. I'll be able to film there. I'll send you updates. It's going to be a phenomenal trip, folks, just to be in the land of the Lord, in the holy city, and to be able to do these things, but and to be able to update right there from Jerusalem. So that's coming. But David is going to be able to help update us on things going on too. But I like this. I got to admit, I like watching what Israel has done. It's like moving chess pieces, and they just kind of one-upped everybody with this latest move. And it was very humane. For people who say that was such an inhumane thing to do, was it really when you actually take out the actual terrorists themselves? I mean, you look at it and you look at any war going on in the world, how many innocent people are killed. The United States has done that virtually every war that's ever existed. Israel fights this unbelievably humane way, and yet people still come against them. But listen, these things, this is the reality of the world that we live in, and kudos to Israel for one-upping all of their enemies and actually putting everybody on alert. It does make me wonder, though, maybe some of you have thought of this. If that can be done, and you start looking at the system of the beast that's being built, it makes you realize there really is a system coming with technology where they will be able to control the masses of the people. Indeed, there is. By the way, I just had a Tom Hughes report that we posted today on the war on God. You can check it out. Got a lot of good stuff in there for you. I think you're going to like it. Check it out. Okay, moving on. Algeminer reports Russia will likely support Iran in a Middle East war, but then they ask the question, to what degree? So we know, if you've been studying Bible prophecy, we know that Russia will support Iran. That day is coming, Ezekiel chapter 38 battle. I don't believe the Ezekiel chapter 38 battle is going to happen right now. But everything is fast going that way. So whenever I see something like this, Russia and Iran, Russia saying we'll support Iran, immediately I go, well, wait a minute, doesn't the Bible say something about this? Yes, the Bible indeed does, but we're not there yet. But we can see all of the geopolitical alliances, everything going on that way. Moving back to Israel news, all Israel news reports Israeli atomic chief says Iran is closer to developing nuclear weapons than it claims. You look at that and you think, well, that's rather interesting, especially with all that's going on in Israel has now proven they can take out leaders in Iran, they can take out leaders of Hezbollah, they can take out leaders of Hamas. I don't know if you saw this also, it was at a funeral service of one of the people who was blown up by the pager yesterday. And so there's a funeral service, you do funerals right away. At the funeral service, guess what? Somebody else got blown up, killed, because their walkie-talkie or whatever it is went off. So you look at this. If I was in Iran, I'd be very careful about saying I'm going to do anything against Israel right now. So it's going to be so interesting to watch how all of this develops. All right, last story. This is for all of our friends up in Canada. I'm curious as to what you think up there in Canada about this. This article, another blow to Trudeau. Liberals lose a long-held seat. I'm curious, Trudeau, man, he's as bad as the governor of California. I don't know if anybody is as bad as Kamala Harris is, but Trudeau's pretty bad. And we have a lot of friends and viewers and partners up there in Canada. I get a lot of emails from you guys and comments. I'd like to know, do you guys think Trudeau's going to be gone? Wouldn't that be nice if he's going to be gone? Who's he going to get replaced with? You guys would have your hand on the pulse. You would know what you're thinking. I'm curious to hear what you say. But for me, this is good news because he's lost a little bit more of his power. I'd like to know how much that is. Will Trudeau be eliminated? He's definitely a World Economic Forum chump. Listen, that's all the news I have for you right now. I'm going to keep you updated while in Wisconsin, traveling tomorrow. I'll keep you updated, give you today's Today in Prophecy, daily news in 15 minutes or less. I don't want to miss any of that. Still have all of the other reports, of course, Sunday morning and Sunday night. Going to be absolutely terrific right here on Hope for Our Times. God bless you guys. Oh, by the way, I do have some tours coming up to Israel if you want to join me. A couple of them are already on the events page. Check them out. And I also have a Footsteps of Paul trip coming up. I forgot to tell anybody about this. We're going to Greece. We're going to the island of Patmos where John got the book of Revelation. We're going to all these different areas, even making a stop in Santorini and Mykonos. We're going to visit Ephesus, off the charts, the Church of Ephesus. And then we're going to head over to Rome too. It's really, really going to be a fantastic time. We're going to go to Corinth, Athens, and so forth. So that's if you want to go on Footsteps of Paul. All of the spaces, all the trips are only one bus, limited on space, so I can meet everybody that's on the trip, kind of hang out with you guys. Check them all out, hopeforourtimes.com. And God bless you guys, and I'll be checking in with you tomorrow.